So welcome back to another Centennial Tidbit, where today we're talking with Terry Langenderfer of the Carruth studio and their involvement with the unknown soldiers who are buried on the East Plaza of the Memorial Amphitheater in Arlington National Cemetery, and how they are working with us for the national commemoration of the centennial of the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, which is in 2021. So Terry, how are you doing today?
Very well, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to participate, and I speak on behalf of everybody here at our studio.
Nice. So you have actually a pretty big role to play in one of our major projects, which is the Never Forget Garden. So can you talk me through how you became involved in the Never Forget Garden project?
Sure. We were initially contacted by Jackson Perkins, which is a cultivator of roses, and they were familiar with Carruth Studio through their years of involvement in the gardening industry, because many of our retail customers are garden centers. And so apparently they had a conversation with Richard in his research. And after they spoke with us, they suggested that we work directly with the society on this project. And that's where I got to know Richard, and things launched from there.
So when Richard came to you and started talking about this, how do you typically go about the process of creating a garden marker? I mean, have you ever done anything of this magnitude or this detail?
No, we've done a wide variety of designs. This project was quite different because of the level of collaboration. Oftentimes, where we've done a custom design or a custom sculpture, the customer might have a concept, but that's it. Here we could tell there was a lot of thought already put into this. And it gave me an opportunity to become more educated about the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. I'm a bit embarrassed to say I just wasn't nearly as familiar with the Sentinel and everything that consists of. I just had a much deeper appreciation for not what happens in front of the tomb, but all the preparation and the dedication that the tomb guards have in this mission. So I guess that alone made it a special project. But then working with Richard and the executives of the society, that's what really made it different. And you can see their fingerprints, the society's fingerprints, in this piece of art in probably a greater way than maybe you would see it with other customers that we've done custom design with.
Okay. Well, I'm ignorant of anything when it comes to making art like you have. So can you tell me a little bit about the design process that went into the garden marker?
Sure. And as I just mentioned, the society was a big part of that, led by Richard. And some of the initial considerations, I guess what I would call them fundamental considerations, were: number one, we wanted to create a strong visual connection with the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. And that was something that, Richard made known to us in our early discussions. And we wanted to have something that of lasting quality and that was evident in the materials and just the appearance of the marker itself. The size needed to be effectively display the messaging on the plaque itself. And we established early on that somebody really ought to be able to view this and read it from several feet away. So those things started to drive the design process, but also then we needed to consider every place this could be displayed, because these gardens are, many of them yet to be, the majority of them yet to be realized, right, or even dedicated. We wanted something that we felt could fit in just about any environment. So that's really where we started, and with a lot of good input and back and forth collaboration with the society.
Well, I know that we went through a bunch of designs because, as I saw earlier today on a Facebook post, tomb guards can be, and the word is persnickety, and very attention oriented, detail orientated. And I know that
Sure.
we came back to you guys many times on little things that probably most people would overlook.
Yes, and that made it different, but it made it better. I think at the end, our goal is to make sure that our clients walk away with the piece of artwork, hopefully something that exceeded what they expected when at the outset of the project. And having that input, having that attention to detail, I think is all evident in the final marker that we have today.
Okay. So when you get a design and it's usually paper format, I'm assuming, how does it go from the paper format to the final design, like the one you have in the picture behind you?
Sure. Well, the images of the concepts that you have there, again, everything starts with words. We put some things on paper, and in this case, I think we had at least two, maybe as many as four iterations before we arrived at the final sketch. But even at the final sketch, once the sculptor starts working, they may encounter some things at full scale that we might not envision at the sketch. And so in this case, we wanted to make sure that we had the space and the size we needed for the messaging itself, which for us is was a bit of a challenge because our sculptures typically do not contain that amount of text. So that was one challenge. But again, we had the feedback and the input from the society along the way. So that process may have taken us, well, it did take us longer than it typically would. But that's okay. We were able to move through the stages, send you the society photographs of the final sculpture before we cast the first mold. And that was just about the time that COVID hit. So we were very lucky, I think, to have the sculpting done. And we did manage to make a couple molds just about the time the governor was closing down Ohio businesses. So I was able to come into the studio, and I'm not the person typically pouring. I'm not what I would consider or call what I call the people that work here artisans, because they truly are. But our molds do go through a seasoning process, and I would like to think I might have saved us a couple of days in the process by attempting to pour these first castings. They were not of the quality that our artisans create, and so they had to be scrapped. But we were able to make an attempt at it, and when they got back here to work, they were ready to go.
Very interesting. Again, I would love to be able to come down to your shop because you're in Ohio, so this is American-made product. You're a small business, which during the time of COVID is a huge challenge to keep your business going. But just to be able to go through that, and I appreciate the pictures that you sent because I think that gives everybody a really good idea of how it goes from paper to final product.
If I might add to that, Gavin, after that mold is cured, or I should say the stone is cured within that mold, we unmold it. It goes through a finishing process. And if it's free of blemishes, and then we stain it, and that accentuates the detail. So what you'll see here is Tim and Amanda, they're applying the stain to the never forget markers right now. And while they each have their techniques, the artisans will develop their own techniques. It's completed with the same objective. And from there, you'll notice that each stone is truly unique because it is a handmade process, and each one is touched by different hands. And I've also included another image there where you can see some different color stains that we use on different designs. But then finally, we wrap it up with Patrick's placing these in a specially designed package for this marker to protect it in the shipment that it's going to go through. And in this case, we're even shipping some overseas. So, and then that final touch is he's putting in the, I think it's best described as a never forget garden introductory document that was provided to us by the society.
Well, Terry, I have to admit you've done a fantastic job taking, the vision that we put down on paper, creating it with your artisans there, coming out with a beautiful final product. It's truly an American-made product, and we truly appreciate your collaboration and working with this during the Centennial and helping to bring the Never Forget Garden project truly to the forefront and allow families from all over the United States and abroad to create their own Never Forget Garden to remember those that have served and sacrificed. If the public wants to find out more about your company and how you're working with us, how do they reach out to you?
Sure. They can visit us at our website, which is carruthstudio.com. We are going to have a dedicated page on our brand new website, hope to be launched here within the next couple of weeks, that's dedicated just to the Never Forget Garden project, with links back to the Society's website. In the meantime, we have a dedicated display of which we have an image of here in our small retail shop in Waterville, Ohio. And we have a special, I guess I would call it an introductory poster there with an image that really summarizes what we're encouraging viewers to do. And so that's, where we're at today. We feel very privileged to play a small role in this enormous program. I recognize that the Never Forget Garden is just one element of a much broader Centennial awareness campaign and celebration. And while we've been at this for a while, I know we haven't been in it nearly as long as the society itself. To think that we're a year away from the actual Centennial is exciting because we have lots of time to produce more of these garden markers, promote them within our network of dealers and the public in general. So we're looking forward to continued preparations over the next 12 months.
Well, perfect. Terry, thank you again for taking the time to talk about your amazing product and your company. Give a shout out to every single one of your artisans there and tell them thank you for the great work they've done.
I will. They're a special group of people, and they've enjoyed being a part of this, and we'll continue to enjoy that. Thank you very much, Gavin.
All right. I think that'll work. Let me mess around with it probably tonight, since I got called out earlier today, but I'll mess around with it tonight. Do the editing. You did a great job of leading me down the pictures, and I'll try and make sure that I'm getting those in the right order as you were talking about the process and the different pictures. So
Sure. And if there's anything, Gavin, that just didn't come across the way you want it, once you start the editing and you say, Terry, we need to get on camera again for a few minutes, totally understood. I will send these images to you now. I will look through that, those notes to make sure that they align with where I think I put them. Yeah, if you need anything else from me, Gavin, just let me know.
I certainly will. Thanks for taking the time today, Terry. I do truly appreciate it, and I think this one will come out good.
I'm happy to do it.
Cool.
Thanks, and have a safe evening.
Thank you. You too as well. Talk to you later.
Okay, bye-bye.